Okay, welcome back. Okay, so what we're going to look at is the design technology paper for 2024. We're going to start off with the multiple choice questions. So always follow this method. If we want to make the correct answer, we have to shade in the lozenge. If we think that's wrong, we cross it out and shade in the other answer. If you want to go back to your original answer, okay, you need to cross it out again and then put a circle around your first answer. Okay, question 1, which one of the following is an alloy? So if we remember, an alloy is a mixture of two metals. One way to remember this is using the periodic table in science. Okay, so we know aluminium is on the periodic table. We know iron is on it and tin. Okay, so brass is not on it. It's a mixture of metals, copper and zinc. Therefore, this is the one we would be shading in. Okay, which one of the following has to be considered when organizing the workplace? So, fair trade is to do with farmers in LIDC countries getting a fair wage. Market pull is to do with consumers. Technology push is technology that's been pushed onto the market. And tools and equipment. So if we're organizing a workplace, one of the things we've got to consider is what tools and equipment we're going to have in the workplace. So therefore, this would be my choice. Right, which one of the following is a definition of a dense material? Okay, so one way to think about these questions is one of these questions is always going to be right. So you should be never leaving these questions blank. The other thing we can do is a process of elimination. We eliminate the answers we know it's not. And then if we get rid of one, then we have a 33% chance of it being right. If we can eliminate two, then we have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So it can be stretched out into thin lengths. Well, that won't be it because that will be malleable or ductile. It has a compact molecular structure. This would be my choice because density is to do with mass per volume. So therefore, we're talking about compact molecular structure. So in a structure, it's compact. So that is my choice. Has the ability to float in water. Well, it would be less dense if it could float on water. Is able to conduct electrical charge. Okay, that will be if it's an electrical conductor, which is not. So therefore, it would be this choice. In this, figure 1 has a lever to be used as part of a mechanism. The distance between A is a fixed pivot of 80. Distance from point B is a fixed pivot of 20. So we've got a ratio of the nearest, half of that is 40, half of that is 10. So in this easiest form is 4:1. So if it moves 40 millimeters, how long A moves 40 millimeters? Well, it's 4 times longer. This is 1. So therefore, if it moves every 4 millimeters, it moves 1 millimeter. So if it moves 40, then it moves 40, then it must move 10. So the option here would be 10. Okay, which one of the following is a composite material? So composite material. So the word composite material is a combination of materials, different materials, right? Combining. So if you think of the word composite, think of the word combine. Okay. We can look at the name. We've got graphene, high impact polystyrene. So this is a type of polystyrene that has been compressed in high impact. We have wool. And if you look at this, the first one, carbon fiber reinforced plastic. So we have two materials here. So therefore, this would be my composite material. The other ones would be glass reinforced plastic, so you have CRP and GRP, and the only other one that they tend to use is steel reinforced concrete. Length, a shape has the dimensions length, width, depth. What is the volume in the shape in millimeters cubed? Everyone should know how to do this at GCSE. So we have this, all we do is length times width times depth equals volume. So 120 times 150 times 170, and you should all have a calculator. So if we add this to our calculator, 120 times 150 times 170 equals answer C. Nobody should be getting this question wrong. Okay, which one of the following is a definition of a thermoforming polymer? So the other option is thermosetting. So the way I like to remember it is thermosetting. Once it's set, it cannot be changed. Thermoforming, you can reapply heat and it can be reformed. Thermo being heat, forming being to be able to reform. So a material that becomes brittle when heated to a specific temperature, no, it doesn't become brittle. A material that becomes transparent when heated to a specific temperature, nope. A material that does not soften when heated to a specific temperature, well, no. A material that softens when heated to a specific temperature. So we know thermo, we need heat to form it. Therefore, it would be D. Okay, so in the classroom, you should have learnt different types of levers, what order or class they are. And the best way I'd like to remember this is first class is scissors. Second class would be a wheelbarrow. And third class would be a pair of tweezers. Right, this is a common question that a lot of people get wrong. Okay, it says, which one of the following fibers are sourced from a living creature? Okay, so cotton comes from a plant. Elastine and nylon are both plastic, so they come from crude oil. So that's a no, that's not from a living creature. Silk comes from a cocoon of a silkworm. So therefore, the worm is the only creature. Therefore, it would be silk. I get a lot of students putting plant. Plant is a living plant, but it's not a creature. Therefore, it cannot be this. Electricity is produced from which form of energy by this device? So you should be able to tell this is a solar panel, so therefore solar energy.